Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lee and today I am bringing you another tutorial for Unreal Engine 5.5.4. 5.6 is available, but I'm not quite ready to upgrade to that one yet. However, I believe this should be the same either way. I've decided in my horror game, Sleepover at Sam's, I want a nun to be knocking about the place. So I've come to Sketchfab, did have a look on, let's have a look, what's it called? Fab? Let me show you. If we go to Fab, we search nun. And basically, people that make nuns are super horny. That's what I've learned because, you know, it's not exactly what I was looking for, is it? So, like I say, I left that and I went over to Sketchfab. And I found this one, and this one is close enough for jazz. However, while it is downloadable, it isn't rigged, doesn't have a skeleton. So that's what we're going to be doing today. This video is about rigging this, animating it in the easiest possible way, and using it in the game. So let's get into it. I have already downloaded it, and what we need to do is we are using Mixamo. If you are familiar with Mixamo, you know how good it is for characters, and that's another one of my meshes that I've created using Fuse, which I will do another video on if I've not already done one by this point. So if you want to know how to make your own custom models like that, then look out for that. But basically what we need to do is upload character, and this box pops up. You want to make sure you are using the zip file, not individual files. I tried that and it just would not work. You need the zip file. So from Sketchfab, download, grab the zip file, and if I can click it properly, drag it across. Now, I haven't tested this one yet, so I'm hoping it works out as planned, but we'll find that out together. Can take a second to do this, so may have to edit ahead. Okay, so the only thing is it's not in T pose, it's in A pose. Not sure if that's gonna make a huge difference. Let's just carry on and see how it goes, shall we? So it says, for best results, have your character in T pose and fingers spread apart. Use arrow buttons to rotate your character and have its front face forward. Well, that's as close as I'm going to be able to get it. And now, so when you click next, it'll go to this place markers. So you grab this one and you put it on the chin, just like it shows you here. So grab that and it highlights it in the top right hand corner. I'm a bit worried that none of my other, none of my meshes have imported with it, but we'll carry on and just see how it turns out. Wrists, and I've got mirror selected down here, use symmetry rather, so it's doing both at the same time. Elbows, they look to be about there. Knees, I think that looks about right. And groin, I'm gonna take a guess, it's about there. Right, that's okay, so read all that if you want to. Next. Now this is auto rigging, so this is going to create a skeleton and a rig presumably for our character. So this is literally just the mesh, I guess, the model, and Mixamo is now auto building us a rig and a skeleton that we can then use with their animation. So all these animations should in theory work with the skeleton that's now being built. Okay, so it's showing you how it looks here. So you can go back and, if you put the knees way too far down or way too high up, you could go back and change it. But generally, that looks pretty okay. I'm going to click next. Now, I'm not sure why it's not colored properly. I'm going to carry on, and hopefully when we import it into Unreal, we can just apply the mesh to it. The textures rather to it. Might not work. I might have to then do this whole process again with a different file. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. So what we're going to do is remember how to do this. I've only really done it once before, but basically at this point you should be able to just start picking animations. Now I think if you download and you go FBX, binary and T-pose and download that, I think that gives you your skeleton to work with when you bring it into Unreal Engine. Downloads, none, so that's giving me an FBX. So let's test that out now, shall we? Bring up Unreal Engine. I'm gonna quickly just have a save and then all file, content, go to maps, and I'm going to go to my dev level for this because this is where I mess around with this kind of stuff. Don't want to mess up the game level just in case I ever forget to, you know, remove something that I don't want in the game. So I'm running out of space. I'm going to have to create some more. Now, all content, I'm just going to pop it in here. Folder, non-character, something like that. Yeah, I've put the in the wrong place there. That's why it looks wrong. That'll do. Oh no, and I missed the N. Right, rename. Non-character, there we go. And now I'm going to drag the FBX file in. Trying to remember how this works. I think skeleton you want none. Import. And then yeah, I think that's it. Says there are issues. That's fine, not bothered about all that. Save, and then obviously it's just got these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the FBX file, not the FBX file, the zip file on my other screen. I'm going to extract all. Oh no, I didn't want to browse, I just wanted to go ahead with that. Extract all. Just replace because I've already done it once. Grab the textures, and I'm going to grab them and drag them across. Fingers crossed this works. Right, and then I've got the non-skeletal mesh here, the skeleton over here. Just whip her around. And then if I just create a material, open it up over here. Just get this looking something like what it should be. OPA opacity, is that? Right, I'm going to need to play with this in a little bit, I think. That looks like it's supposed to be specular. Let's just see what that looks like. I will make this better in a sec. And I've got that. Chuck it on there. Okay, so immediately that looks decent enough. I'm happy with how that's turning out. And I can make it better. We'll take a little bit more time with it in a moment. But we can now go back confident that this is going to work out when we import it. And we can start messing around with the animations. So maybe one of the first things you want is a walk. It's not very nun-like. So we're looking for something that might be suitable for a nun. I don't think we're going to get this lucky, but let's just search nun just in case. Gunplay. No. I get it. I get why that came up, but no. Thinks we meant gun. No, we don't mean gun. Let's try idle. Let's try this one. And you don't get the full benefit with it not being animated and such, but sorry. You don't get the full benefit with it not being textured and everything, but you can see that that does the job. Looks a bit slovenly. I don't think a nun would really stand like that, so we're looking for something a bit more proper, ideally one where her hands are like in front of her or something. Not quite like that. Old man idle. Okay, we could have her as a super old nun, I suppose. Energy level, overdrive, arm space. Well, I don't hate it, but if I could get her to stand up more, right, that'd be good. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, awful. Okay. Arm height. Let's go in this direction. No. Yeah, fingers look a bit janky, don't they? We'll try and just not draw much attention to them. Jesus, look at her fingers. No, don't look at her fingers, actually. But this one will do. So then I'm going to set up a new file, actually. Right, so on my other screen, I'm just going to where I usually keep this kind of thing. I'm just going to chuck the animations in a folder. Sorry, I'll probably edit this bit out. Animations. Right. And download that. FBX binary with skin, 60 frames. I'm pretty sure it's with skin, yeah. Download that. Once it gets to my downloads, I want to bring up the game again. Maybe create a new folder within that. Call it the non-anims or something like that. Open it up and drag it across. And now, because we imported the skeleton earlier, we have it available here. Which I can't, non-skeleton, that makes sense. Import. And now the animation should work for that. But obviously it's still applying just the old, you know, the mesh. So basically what we can do is just grab this one, animation, pop it in here, and then apply it. There we go. Save that. And now we should have this non-idling, doing the old man idle. So if I play from here, we have nothing. Oh, I've done the skeletal. You probably all saw that. I've done the skeletal mesh, not the animation. I thought it was going to crash. Right, save all. Bring out the animation, which you can already see is different. I'm going to open that up. Why is that? Try and find the skeleton. So we'll find the skeleton. No, forget it. I'm just going to select it here and drag the mesh over here. Save file, save all, because it doesn't, you know, just OCD. Right. And now we got the wrinkly fingered old nun. She has super old hands and not as an old face, but no eyes. So that is basically it. And then you can go back to Mixamo and you can get whichever animations you want. So I'm gonna save file, save all. Go back to Mixamo, and then you can just find whatever you want in Mixamo, and you can download them with the settings that I just showed, and then import them the way I've just done, and you can have all the animations that you want. And so this is a model that we got for free. Wasn't rigged, didn't have a skeleton. We brought it to Mixamo, we gave it a skeleton, we've chosen animations, we've imported it, fixed the mesh, fixed the textures, and then we've basically got this animation that we can now use in our games. Can't say fairer than that, and all for free. So, you know, good stuff. And that brings us to the end of the video, guys. So bear in mind, I am making this in a game called Sleepover at Sam's, so if you play that, act surprised when you see the nun. Please wishlist it when it becomes available. Like the channel, leave a comment, really helps. Even if you just say hi, still really helps the channel. Subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one. So thanks very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.